Rucker Man.
And we are live. As we talk sports, Sean Webb, Real Takes Over Fake Debates. We are back live. It's your favorite day of the week. It is Monday. This show is brought to you by Swift Energy. Go to swiftenergy.gg. Use code RTOFD to get 20% off every time you order. Like I said, this is Real Takes Over Fake Debate show live every Monday and Friday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Sean, what's going on, brother? This has been a lot of things going on this weekend in the sports world. We finished the in-season tournament. We had some great games in football, some controversy called. Some players got injured, and a lot of major players got big money in baseball. But I want to know how you feeling today, brother.
Man, feeling good, man. Long weekend of sports, but definitely looking forward to chopping it up tonight. And of course, definitely got to talk about the $700 million man.
The $700 million. Look, man.
Yeah.
Son of ever had you play baseball. Play baseball. Just go ahead, just play baseball. Go get your bag. Be a two-way player. The crazy part about it is, like, Ohtani is that creative player that you make on like MLB. You guys ever play MLB? They have like a game mode, like the show, and you can make a player who can pitch, who can hit, play outfield, do everything. I always never thought it was gonna be. I thought it was only gonna be on the video game, but to see a guy do that in real life, I think he's gonna have to slow down at some point. But to see him do that is crazy.
Yeah.
But like I said, we got an action-packed show today for you guys. We're gonna get into the $700 million man later in the show. We have to talk about what happened recently, but let's go ahead and get to the chat first. Salute Tiffany. Tiffany says salute. SB and Sean, how about them Ravens? Everybody, please like and subscribe to the channel. Yeah, y'all got lucky, but good win. Shout out Lakers at 5. Go ahead and subscribe to Lakers at 5 channel. He got great content. If you're a fan of the Lakers, please go subscribe to Lakers at 5. Salute. Shout out Nicholas Brown, always being in the chat early. Like, share, subscribe to the channel. Continue to support on the road to the next milestone. Yes, sir. Get them likes up throughout the stream. You heard them. Make sure you guys share. Get more people in. Salute, my brother Bang. He said, "What up, Tiffany? Ned SB, what's good, my boy? What's going on?" Who else in the chat? True the King in the chat. He says, "Salute, shout out my brother True the King. Got great content over there. Said what he be capping about them Celtics. Free Jason Tatum, by the way. Salute everybody. Chris, my boy FYF in the building. Salute FYF. So, Sean, let's go ahead and get right into the show. Let's go ahead and get it right started. Showtime in LA. The Los Angeles Lakers have won the first in-season tournament championship. Sean, it's technically like at the end of the day, we can all argue and think like things should get more time. Should it not? Should this and that? At the end of the day, we seen something historic that this is the first time it ever happened. And the Lakers got the job done. And also, the Lakers have announced they will hang a banner for the in-season tournament championship. What was your reaction to the Lakers winning? And how do you feel about them hanging the banner for the in-season tournament championship?
Excuse me. Well, I mean, first of all, shout out to the Lakers for winning the first in-season tournament. It was a pretty decent game. All things told, Anthony Davis obviously played out of his mind Saturday night. Lakers kind of won the game in the unconventional manner that the NBA game is played today. They played. They were playing bully ball inside the paint. And did a good job, game planning for Halliburton. Basically, blitzing him, kind of forcing him to, make passes and try to make other guys, beat him. So, shout out to them for winning. As far as them hanging a banner, I mean, okay.
It's a championship. It's still a championship, Sean. It's still a championship.
I mean,
it's still a championship. And I think that it's more the NBA side who's trying to push it. I don't think it's really more the Lakers. The Lakers only hang championship banners. Technically, it's the championship, but I think the NBA wants to give it that significant value early. That's why I was like, it was kind of great that the Lakers and LeBron James won it. But I still think you're going to need about a good, 10 years, because now we got to solidify that this thing is going to stay around, one. And then two, we'll start seeing how people start valuing it over the years, because now it's going to be like, they're going to wonder who win it during certain times. And they're going to probably depends on who win it, obviously, too. So with the Lakers winning it and LeBron James winning it, LeBron James is the most coveted superstars of all time, one of the greatest players of all time. Then the Los Angeles Lakers, who is one of the most coveted franchises of all time, and if not the greatest franchises out of NBA. So for them to hold the first one, I think is going to bring that value to it.
I mean, certainly, yeah. I mean, obviously, and the league accomplished what they wanted to accomplish, which was to bring more eyes, more ratings. A very tough stretch of the season, if you will, for the league in terms of ratings and interest. So shout out to them. I think what's going to be interesting to see SB is how it proceeds forward. Do we see them expand the in-season tournament? Where again it hits closer to Christmas than early.
I would like that.
Yeah, so I think that'll be interesting. Can you mix it up a little bit more where it's the brackets aren't just all West teams and all East teams? How do you do that? I understand that obviously for division divisional purposes and travel, it could factor in, but everybody charters, so travel shouldn't be a big deal like that as it may have been. So I think it's gonna be interesting to see where they go forward and some of the tweaks they make, because I think this is here to stay. To be honest with you, I think it's here to stay.
I actually hope it is here to stay, because I think the only thing that could ruin the in-season tournament and the value of the in-season tournament championships if they do this for 5 years and then just stop doing it. You know what I'm saying? Because then that just defeats the whole purpose. You got to keep this going for the long haul. You started it. You actually getting what you want from it out of the situation. Everybody was very in tune into the in-season tournament. The viewers loved it. Also, I would want the in-season. It should be an in-season tournament month like March Madness. The whole month is all in-season tournament games, or a couple weeks of it. Because it was kind of getting it was cool, but I didn't like the Bulls played one game. You see the red court in-season tournament. Then next you go back to the regular thing. I'd rather have a whole in-season tournament month. All the games count for the regular season. Then you probably get to Christmas or, Christmas for the finals, and that'd be crazy. I think that'd be outstanding. But if they don't want to give up the Christmas slot because they want their Christmas game slot, I'm cool with it being early December, mid-December. But November is the in-season tournament month. Early December is for the bracket of the playoffs. For me.
Yeah, and again, I think what's interesting, right, is because Christmas Day has largely been dominated by the NBA. But when Christmas falls on a Friday through or Thursday through a Monday, then you see the NFL now having games on Christmas Day. So, I think it'll be interesting to see how they do it. I do agree with you, SB. I would like to see it be for a whole month, give it more of that March Madness feel.
Yeah.
But also, again, I think they got to figure out a way to kind of incentivize it a little bit more in terms of, again, do you guarantee a team a playoff spot, or do you guarantee them a play-in spot? If they win or if they're in the top two, how do you do that? Because I think this Indiana team, has shown in the in-season tournament that they would be a fun team to watch in the playoffs.
Yes, they will.
Given the way they play. So I think those are all things they'll be thinking about. Do you get rid of the point differential thing? I think that's something that probably on the table as well. But it did what it was supposed to do. And I think to a greater degree, LeBron did what he was supposed to do, which was, again, solidify himself more in that Vegas market, because buyers long term for that Vegas market. So I think it was a win-win in a lot of areas. And again, shout out to the league for doing it.
Yo, I'm glad you brought LeBron, because that's the next point. Because I want to separate like the Lakers team and LeBron himself. So yeah, Sean, as much as everybody hated it, if you're a LeBron hater and if you're a LeBron lover, you probably loved it. You got to crown the king. Crown the king, LeBron James. LeBron James win the first in-season tournament championship and MVP. Sean, what does this do for LeBron James' legacy?
Let me ask you a question, SB. You got a favorite television show?
Right now I'm really on like the anime wave, but if I had a TV show, probably Family Guy.
All right, let's say a TV show with actual people, not animated.
TV show with actual people. I gotta probably say the last one that I really watched and loved was maybe Snowfall.
All right. So let's say Denzel Washington made a guest appearance on Snowfall. And just on one episode, and he put together an Emmy-winning performance on Snowfall. Did he need that to solidify he's a great actor?
No.
This is the same thing for LeBron in the in-season tournament. We know what LeBron is. We know what he's meant to the league. We know where he is in the pantheon of the all-time great players. Doesn't mean anything. He was that before the in-season tournament came into fruition. He's been that long after the in-season tournament. Whether the Lakers were there or not, LeBron is LeBron. It wasn't, to me, it does nothing for his legacy. Now, for what he wants to do in Vegas, and again, having all eyes in Vegas the last, those couple of days with the in-season tournament, I think that was huge. But in terms of his play and what happened on the floor.
Did you notice, though, when Adam Silver presented LeBron the trophy, he brought that up. So it's more in play than believed. It's like more than meets the eye that people seeing. The crazy part about it is, Sean, let's say, hypothetically speaking, I think we probably get that expansion team maybe like 2030, maybe 2030, maybe at the latest, I believe, or around that range. As soon as LeBron probably gonna be one of the quickest players to ever get a team, because he probably, as soon as he retired, he probably gonna have the team already in play, if not already doing it now as we speaking on it now.
Well, they're already, he and his team are already putting things in place to acquire the rights to that Vegas team. Again, you have to pay. There's a lot that goes into it. Obviously, the league has to, hear bids, things like that. One thing that I think will benefit him is the Adelson family just purchased, who's based in Vegas, just purchased majority share of the Dallas Mavericks from Mark Cuban. So they won't be in play. But I think you'll see some guys that will step up and be in play for the team. LeBron won't just get it on his own. Yeah, there's his name, his cachet. We get it. But there's guys who've tried to do it before that didn't do it because somebody with bigger and deeper pockets and were able to make it happen. So we've seen that in years past. So
yeah, right. Little mama that just busted in here. You walk in the house and busted. Yeah, I'm like, go back in there, mama. Love you. Little ones.
No, it's all right. They want to be on the show. It's all good. They want to be stars.
Yeah, I have to tell them, like, move out the way. But my whole point about the LeBron thing all the way around, it doesn't do nothing to his legacy for me now. For now, Today it doesn't. But if years go back and this trophy get value, yes, it's going to be significant to him because at the end of the day, we have to be fair, call a spade, because I didn't seen guys get more credit than the players from back in the day, from like the Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West era, where awards was not available. Perfect example how like the certain stats wasn't they counted like they did, and people put players over them because they got certain things they wasn't even available to get. I feel like we got to treat LeBron the same way. We got to call a spade a spade. So from today's point of view, no. 10, 20 years from now, it might hold a lot of weight because he won the first one and he already had LeBron James. He already in the GOAT debate. So I think that's definitely going to add to the fold. With him, I think he was game planning, like you said. LeBron was strategically worried about the next step. Yes, of course he wanted that bread, but I think he was more game planning for let me solidify and stamp myself more in Vegas so I can get the fan base and everybody around me and seeing my aura and face of like what impact that I bring as LeBron James so I can get this team. Because he all asks is on LeBron James to get this team in Vegas for sure. But got to tip your hat to him, crown the king. Good W by the Los Angeles Lakers. And shout out Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis well deserved the MVP just as much as LeBron did. And also, Sean, one thing I learned before we get to the next part of the NBA subject, the Lakers' problem has really always been health for me. And I'm now starting to see like the Lakers healthy is a dangerous team. A healthy Anthony Davis and healthy LeBron is different than the end of when they banged up at the end of the season. If they healthy, they a problem.
Well, let me put an asterisk on that. A healthy LeBron is always going to be an issue, right?
Mm-hmm.
A healthy AD is not the given. It's the engaged, and I'm deciding tonight I'm going to be the best player on the floor. AD consistently, that is the issue. Because again, we saw AD literally probably have his greatest game as a Laker the other night, albeit the stats
master class.
Right, it was an absolute dominant performance by Anthony Davis. Now, would it shock you tomorrow night when they play Dallas if he came out and got 14 and 9?
No, nope. That's AD.
So again, it's not just health with the Lakers; it's the engagement of Anthony Davis, the consistent engagement of Anthony Davis.
Mm-hmm. Now you're right about that. Now, last topic on the NBA we have to go get to is all right, Sean. Who was your NBA in-season tournament standout player from the whole tournament? It don't necessarily have to be somebody who won. And then also, can the NBA keep the ratings up after the in-season cup? This is the one thing that I was kind of concerned with. Like, now all this hype been around this, and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, the in-season tournament. I'm excited to see this." Now it's over with. How can you keep the fans engaged until April?
I mean, so to answer your second question, the level of competitiveness has to be there, right? Mm-hmm. You saw that the in-season tournament games, a lot of them had kind of a playoff feel.
It did.
Can you see that level of competitiveness for the television market up throughout an entire season? Because I think that, to me, was one of the biggest reasons why they did the in-season tournament was to try to raise the stakes competitively. By again putting it under the auspices of an in-season tournament. We know that regular season games, save for the championship game of the in-season tournament, but so can you do that? It's going to always be a bit of a challenge given the length of the season. Games, it's hard to keep that level of interest start to finish. And again, you're still competing with NFL. Right, up until Super Bowl, and then after the Super Bowl, then the world is yours. Sports world is yours. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how they do it. Who was the standout? Again, hard not to say Halliburton. Obviously, I thought he, played excellent through the entire tournament. Showed why he's one of the up and coming stars in the NBA. And well, did you have one?
Yeah, for me, it's definitely had to be I'm gonna have to go Tyrese Halliburton too. I'm definitely going Tyrese Halliburton. unexpected because there's like a lot of guys who did play good, like the LeBrons, the ADs, the Tatums, the KDs. Those are the guys you expected to play as well. Tyrese Halliburton came out of nowhere, shot like a rocket because the Pacers finally got mega media attention. Tyrese Halliburton been playing like this all this season, but since the people now they put him on recognize because nobody cared about what's going on in Indiana. I got to go to Tyrese Halliburton. I think Tyrese Halliburton was great. Obviously, they dropped the all tournament team. It was Halliburton, LeBron, AD, Kevin Durant, and I'm missing another person. I think it was Tatum, if I believe, of the all tournament team. But obviously, those guys who really stood out the most. For me, with the NBA keeping up the race, I'm going to have to agree with you is that can these guys keep up the competition that they did during that time of the NCAA tournament? They did have a playoff field, but sometimes, Sean, it do be games that they compete at that level. But I think the visual aspect of the court and the jersey sold people more. Well, I'm gonna say it sold the casual fans more because I don't see games late in December that was competitive. I don't see games late in December that was terrible. So it's just a give and take with everything that you get with the point of the regular season. So to keep the ratings up high, I think they have to compete, but it's gonna be tough to see because the next big splash for the NBA season is gonna be around All-Star break and trade deadline. That's just
I think again Christmas Day is kind of the next target.
Christmas. Yep.
Some big matchups on Christmas Day, and then from there is make it to All-Star weekend. And the other person made the all-tournament team was Giannis.
Giannis, yep, Giannis, yep. I got the Greek freaker. But all right, guys, let me know how you feel about that. Did you guys crown LeBron as the king? How do you feel about the Lakers winning this? Is this going to impact the Lakers to push for a championship run? Who was the in-season tournament standout for you guys, and how can the NBA keep up with this? Let me know. Let us know in the chat. Okay, Sean. So the reason why I was looking at my screen here, I was trying to relook at this play. Because we had some controversy when it comes to the NFL. And also, I never seen Patrick Mahomes like this before. The flag was thrown early. He threw a pass to Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce threw a lateral to Kadarius Toney. Kadarius Toney ran it in for a late touchdown that did not count because Kadarius Toney was out offsides. They threw the flag early. They brought the play back. And Patrick Mahomes, I never seen Patrick Mahomes like this. Patrick Mahomes was pissed. What you think about the play, Sean? Who is to blame? What happened?
Who's to blame? Kadarius Toney.
I don't know how he didn't realize he went offside because he was ahead of everybody.
So, a couple things. One, when you line up at receiver, you always check with the officials, right? You check with the officials.
He didn't do that.
He didn't do that, right? The officials will generally tell you, and they don't have to. There's no rule that says they have to. The line judge, the officials will tell you, hey, you're good, or hey, back it up.
Go back.
Right? A lot of times you'll point out to the official will check your alignment based on where the ball is, and you back up. Right? That's the first thing. Let me play. I don't like using the term devil's advocate because I don't think the devil needs an advocate. But let me say this really quickly. The issue I have and why I understand why Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid were upset is because the play should have been blown dead at the snap.
At the snap. Because they threw it early. I'm re-looking at the play. They threw it early.
Right. You threw the flag, but they should have whistled it dead. They threw the flag, but they didn't whistle the play dead. Right? It was offsides on their offense. It should have been whistled dead. The play should have never been run. Once the play was run, it took it out of took away the chances that Kansas City was going to be able to run it again. So that's why I think they were more upset than the actual call because Kadarius Toney was offsides. He was offsides.
Offsides,
lined up over the football.
I'm trying.
Ultimately,
let me see if I can remember. Let me see so I can rewind it back to where he was. Let's see. Nope, they don't. Dang, this is the beginning right when they hiked it because I want to just show him. Look, but you can even tell from the beginning, he already gone. They already called it. This Tony right. Wait, pause it. Jesus, this Tony boy right here. You see him in the middle, right here. He's right here in the middle, up early. So he was already gone early. I think he made it a little too obvious. Wait, Leia says Joe Flacco, salute casual. Tiffany said Patrick Mahomes acting like a straight diva. This is unacceptable behavior. Bang said, I'm glad he lost. Mahomes is still the GOAT. He said them pigeons got lucky. We can talk about them pigeons. You talk about the Bills. Salute Fonte's 5. You want to get that money, you want to win some parlay, shout out Fonte 5. But back to Tony situation, and I also understand why you're saying the play blown dead. But sometimes, Sean, I'm gonna play devil's advocate on the ref side. It's hard to necessarily blow a play dead that fast because as soon as they hike and ran the play, they threw the flag. And what I also always know in the season of football, you never know who the necessary play is called on. So how you know Patrick Mahomes and them boys didn't run that play like, hey, this is a free play, and just went for the free play and got it.
So again, the offense is doing their job. The issue is not so much the flag, it's blow the whistle.
Mm-hmm.
Blow the whistle, the play stops. They didn't blow the whistle, right? They didn't blow the whistle. They just threw a flag because again, there was a penalty on the play. Now, if it's offsides on the defense, they throw the flag. Sometimes they blow the whistle, sometimes they don't. But more often than not, they'll let the play go because, because the offense basically has a free play, which is again the thinking of Pat Mahomes and the offense. Again, ultimately, to me, what it came down to was Kadarius Toney, you are a professional NFL wide receiver. Do your job.
Do your job.
Do your job.
That's that simple. It's literally that simple. And I think he didn't do his job. But as much as that one play did cost him the game, I don't necessarily think it cost him the game in the whole. The Chiefs, it was a close game throughout. Chiefs made mistakes throughout. Bills did. I don't think. How was your reaction to Mahomes really going crazy like that?
I mean, it's an emotional game, right?
Mm-hmm.
And anybody that's played, organized sports at any level, it can get very emotional. If you saw the quarterback series, Pat Mahomes, he's always fired up.
Always.
He is always fired up. One of the reasons why you like him, I think, is because of the fact that he's got an intensity for the game. He's just out there playing just to be playing. He wants to win, just like, a lot of guys do. So I have no issue with it. But again, the issue is again, to me, Kadarius Toney was wrong.
Clearly.
The officials threw the flag, but I think the officials could have done a better job is blow the whistle, blow the play dead.
Agreed. Also, next on the football list,
Look at True's comment.
What you say? I thought Tony was on defense. How much? Hey, pretty much. Pretty much. Speaking of another team who didn't perform up to par, because I'm gonna say this last team, because everybody been hyping both sides of them. But let's go ahead and knock this one out. Jared Goff and the Lions struggled in a loss to the Chicago Bears. The Bears have definitely bear down against the Lions. This is the second time the Bears have played excellent against these Detroit Lions. Now, we have all been praising the Detroit Lions, how they've been playing great football. I wouldn't want to play this team in the first round. Sean, this team has started a little bit slow down for me, and I don't necessarily know because you're struggling against the Bears. But the Bears have their own problems. Shout out Montez Sweat, been a great, excellent addition to this team. Justin Fields looking a little bit better. They're using DJ Moore. But before I ask you about the Bears, what is your concern? Should you be concerned for the Detroit Lions?
A little bit.
I'm sorry.
Number one, their defense isn't playing up to par as they were playing earlier this season. People have been able to drive the field on them quite a bit. Secondly, Jared Goff has been not managing the games well here recently.
He's been Jared Goff.
Yeah, he's been a little like the old Jared Goff. And so, again, I think their problems are fixable. I think it'll be interesting to see. Yesterday was their last was their last game outside of a dome. The rest of their games are played in a dome the rest of the season. And I'm not going to say the elements factored in or whatever. The Bears have to play in the same elements as the Lions, but obviously we know
it's cold in Chicago.
It's cold and windy in Chicago. And it's a division game, right? They know each other, right? You don't know an opponent better than you know your division opponent.
Facts.
So it was always a chance that the Bears could pull it off. Now, again, shout out to the Bears for playing a really good game yesterday. They played a really good game. But I do think the Lions are still the favorites in the division, obviously. I think the Packers are obviously making it interesting. And the Vikings 7 wins. So they aren't running away with the division, but I still think the Lions win the division. And now it's just time that you got 4 games left in the season. Now it's time to get ready to recalibrate and get ready for the playoffs. So I don't think all lost for the Lions, but the defense has to be better, and Jared Goff has to be better about some of the decision making and taking care of football.
100%. I think you hit everything and every point on the head with the Detroit Lions. The problem for me is that you need to, when you're a team that's having a great season when you usually are bad, and this is your first good run at it in years, confidence is key. I think the Lions need to finish strong. Like the next team we're going to talk about, like the Eagles, that team can struggle and not still have enough confidence in the playoffs if they get it together. The Lions can't afford to lose confidence going into the playoffs because you are a team who ain't really been in this position in years, and you struggle against the Chicago Bears right now, who's pretty much on a rebuild end where they got talent to be good, but they haven't been good because they've been inconsistent all this season. So I think for the Lions, this was a kind of like that wake-up call loss for them because the Bears put the work on them. And the Bears put the work on them last time. They just got it together late the last game. So for the Lions, I think besides everything else that you said, you hit on the head, I think they need to finish the season strong, and confidence is the key. Before I get to the Bears side real quick, Fontaine, did you see the cameo in my video? You got to send it to me. And then Bang said the Bears are dominant over the Lions. Yeah, they have been. I don't understand why the Lions play bad against the Bears. My point from the Bears' perspective is you see the talent that you kind of have, obviously with the addition of Montez Sweat, and then also with the Steelers helping them secure the number 1 overall pick from the Panthers because the Cardinals lost. It was the Cardinals beat the Steelers, and who just beat the Steelers again recently? That should have been the Patriots. So now the Bears probably got that 1 pick lot. What's your mindset for the Bears coming into this offseason where, okay, you see the talent? Do you stick with Justin Fields? Do you get that new quarterback? Do you go get a wide receiver? Do you go get Marvin Harrison? Do you go at the O-line? Do you get that tight end that's killing? Like, what mindset and what should you really do with this team?
So I think it's 2 things they have to consider, SB. The first thing you have to consider is there a quarterback in this draft that you project better than Justin Fields? That's the first thing. I think the second thing you have to consider if you're the Bears is you're going to have a new head coach. That head coach is going to want some input into who the quarterback of that football team is. So I would kind of tie those 2 things together. And then the third thing and the last thing and the major decision maker for me for the Bears is Justin Fields is extension eligible after this season. He's extension eligible. Are you ready in the next 5 months or in the next year to extend Justin Fields?
And that's a big question. But also, the Steelers and the Falcons have already said they are interested in Justin Fields. Now the question is, if they offer you a late first or early second, would you move Justin Fields for that?
I mean, obviously, if I'm taking a quarterback 1, then absolutely. Now, again, I don't know what the market would be for Justin Fields in terms of the value of his or his value on the
value be high on the Falcons and the Steelers. I'll tell you that.
Well, no, I think he'd be perfect for the Falcons. I think he'd be absolutely perfect for the Falcons. And if I were him, I'd be dying to get to the Falcons. But that's a different conversation. I think again, from a trade compensation perspective, what does that look like? Excuse me. And again, he's only got technically they pick up his 5th-year option. He's only got 2 years left under contract. If you're trading for him, you're likely saying we're trading for him and we're willing to go ahead and extend him and pay him, huge quarterback money. So I think all those things factor in if you're the Bears, and certainly they're going to have some real decisions to make this offseason because, again, it appears they're on the road to the number 1 pick.
Yeah, they solidified. And then, like you said, with Fields, like, I don't know, if you bring a new quarterback in, if you bring a new quarterback in, you got to get the coach that fits. So if you go get Caleb Williams, you got to get a coach that fit his play style to extend that. Then if you decide to keep Justin Fields, you have to get a coach that will use him the right way and fit his play style. The Bears, now I'm sorry trying to say that this is the truth. The Bears have probably 2 of the best off seasons in a row. A lot of teams who have off seasons like this, that 2 times in a row, a lot of teams who have an off season that's once like what the Bears have just did, they'd be already great. So you got 2 of these, you have to get the job. I'm sorry, you have to.
And
2 high picks, 2 number 1 overall picks, 2 years in a row, and you trading for talent at the same time. No, you gotta make something happen.
And I would say this too, right? And this is why the rookie salary cap wage scale matters. The value of those draft picks is far greater today than it was before, because back before the rookie salary cap scale, those guys could get whatever they wanted. Bradford got $70 million. So it was basically a matter of, hey, you have the number 1 pick. This is the going rate. Now that number 1 pick is not as cost prohibitive as it used to be. So if you're the Bears, it's not even just a football decision so much as a financial one, because again, you're looking at this draft class coming up. I think Tua didn't get an extension yet. I think Tua is going to get extended this offseason. He's going to get a bag. Trevor Lawrence is going to get extended this offseason. He's going to get a bag. When you're looking at Justin Fields, where are you rating him in terms of, is he ready for that bag? Because again, let's look at teams that extended quarterbacks maybe a little earlier than they should have. Carson Wentz got extended early. Jared Goff got extended early. Kyler Murray got extended early after their 30 seasons. So let's just see where the Bears view Justin Fields in terms of their overall financial decision making. Because again, it won't just come down to football. It is about making a financial choice as much as it's a football decision.
Yeah. Bang said, I'll trade the number 1 pick for the Steelers for the end and the wide receiver Pickett. I'm trying to think. The end, I know you're talking about TJ Watt, because I don't think they're giving them up for nothing. But what end they got that's on the D end that's real good? You got to be talking about TJ Watt. I mean, yeah, TJ Watt. It got to be TJ Watt. With the Steelers, I ain't gonna lie. I don't think the Steelers would give that much up for them. It was. I'd say that quick. If I'm any team.
The Steelers aren't trading TJ Watt. Like, let's get that out of the way right now.
I don't think. I don't think they go. No, they ain't trading TJ Watt. If they was, they'd be a fool. You might have to give up both them picks to get TJ Watt. Back Dev said trade Fields and draft Caleb Williams. I don't know. Salute my boy Sports PSP. Go subscribe to his channel. He got great content over there. He said, "Is Dak the MVP?" No, he is not. He is not MVP per the year. We got to stop. The Steelers do need a quarterback, but they ain't gonna give up Watt to do it. They'd rather have no quarterback with Watt. But I'm glad Sports PSP asked that question. Let's go and switch to the Cowboys, the Cowgirls, the Fly Eagles. Fly, 2 of the worst fan bases when it comes to football. I'm starting to put the Eagles up there. See, the Eagles was humble when they would lose, but now when the Eagles win, oh my God. So obviously, I want you to answer is Dak the MVP, but the Cowboys make a statement. They put the beatings on the Eagles this last game. They did. It was all around great performance for the Cowboys. Is this fool's gold or are they legit?
As I've said previously, SB, we're not judging the Cowboys on the regular season. We judge them on the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen the Cowboys go 13-3 and literally get in the playoffs and crap the bed without a diaper. So my point is this is great, cool, but can you do this in the playoffs when it matters?
No, they cannot.
So great that the Cowboys are doing well. Cool for the league. Good for you. Congratulations. Now, also, and again, let's keep this in context. The Eagles are coming out of the gauntlet part of their schedule, right? And let me just run this down for you. Since October 22nd, the Eagles have played Miami, Washington, Dallas, Kansas City, Buffalo, San Francisco, Dallas again, and they go to Seattle next week. So we're talking about a 7-game stretch.
6 out of 7 was a tough game. Commanders don't count.
Or an 8-game stretch. 7 of those games, presumably Seattle is going to be competitive, are not easy wins, right? So if the Eagles were able to come out of this, 7-game stretch, or 7 of these 8-game stretch, 5-2, good for them. Now, Cowboys, on the other hand,
cupcake,
are about to hit their gauntlet part of their schedule. Because in the last few weeks, the only team they played worth their weight in gold is Philly, and obviously Seattle, is a solid team. They get ready to see. They got to go to Buffalo next week. Then they got to go to Miami. Then they got to come home and play Detroit. So these next 3 weeks could be very telling for the Cowboys. So let's see. The Eagles obviously still control their destiny to win the division. All they got to do is win out, which is,
possible.
Very possible. And the Cowboys will be the 5th seed if the Eagles win out, which means they'll play the winner of the NFC South. So in the playoffs, in the first round, the wild card. So we'll see what happens. I think all of it happened. All of it happens, but we'll see. We'll see.
Before I ask my point on this, I see my brother Blue Ball. Shout out Blue Ball in the chat. He said, "What's up, SB and Sean? Who has a better chance to win the championship, Dak or LeBron?" I'm 100% go with LeBron. I do not trust the Cowboys. I would never trust the Cowboys. I done seen the Cowboys look like one of the best teams in the regular season and go in the playoffs and lose, blow leads. Dak Prescott ain't the same quarterback no more. The receivers and quarters can't play. I would take. It's the better chance that Anthony Davis will play 75 games than the Cowboys will win a championship. That's how much I believe it. Believe on the other side of the Cowboys. That's how much non-belief I got in the Cowboys, I should say.
So I guess the question is, who do you trust more? Do you trust Mike McCarthy or Anthony Davis?
Anthony Davis. I'm not rocking with the Cowboys. The Cowboys is fool's gold, and that's my point. This game was not a statement game. It was fun to troll my friends who are Eagles fans because they've been talking too greasy, but this game is the fool's gold game. The Cowboys have been rolling, and I love the fact that you brought up that the Eagles is on their gauntlet game. Yeah, tip your hat to the Cowboys. They balled out. Did they show that the Eagles are frauds? No. I'm tired of y'all saying that as Cowboys fans. Y'all didn't prove nothing that the Eagles was fraud. Y'all, it's any given Sunday. That's not the matter. Fact. Any given Sunday, anybody can win. Y'all finally play outstanding against the Eagles. And y'all never do that. I can't tell you, besides this game, Sean, when had the Cowboys played this good against the Eagles? Probably McNabb had the jersey on or something. Maybe Vic or something had the jersey on.
Been a while, but I mean, listen, and this is no slight to the Cowboys, right? The Cowboys have a good team. They have a really good team, right? But let's see what they do come playoff. Because again, we've seen the Cowboys go 13-3 and literally get in the playoffs and forget how to play football.
Yeah, that's true. Now, my second point, hold on, wait, what McDuff just said, Tyreek Hill just hurt his knee. Prayers up to Tyreek Hill. He right now, I hope he doesn't get hurt because he's going to change the dynamic, but a quarterback does not win MVP because it's not a quarterback right now who deserves MVP. But, also, let's flip to the other side when it comes to these Eagles. Is it time to be concerned about the Eagles? Are you concerned?
No, I wouldn't say I'm concerned. I think obviously they're playing a tougher schedule. A lot of people are comparing them this year to last year. Two things about this year versus last year. Number one,
Cupcake.
the schedule's tougher this year, right? As it's supposed to be. They were the number one seed. They play in a number one schedule. So let's get that out of the way right now. Secondly, the Cowboys, or excuse me, not the Cowboys, the Eagles are not getting after the quarterback. Well, they weren't going to get after the quarterback last night because of the style of defense they're playing. They're playing way too conservative in the secondary, right? If you watch the game in the second half, when the Eagles kind of made it a little bit of a game, want to start pressing. They got up on those receivers. They were throwing the timing off of that offense because again, in that West Coast offense is 1-2 out, 1-2 out, 1-2 out. Dak has been in a rhythm because again, these guys are not so they threw off that rhythm a little bit last night, third quarter. They had the Fletcher Cox forced the fumble on the sack fumble. Jalen Carter picked it up and took it to the house. The Eagles touchdown last night, by the way. So, but watch what the secondary did on that play. They were pressed, right? Slay was playing a little more press last night. So again, I think it's the Eagles have issues, but they are very fixable. And also time possession. The Eagles only had the ball 23 minutes last night.
That's not gonna get it done.
Not gonna get it done. That's not gonna get it done. To me, when I watch their offense, the biggest problem I have with their offense is they try to take way too many shot plays. Right? There's nothing wrong with a 14-play drive. You don't have to score in 3 minutes or 2 minutes. You can take an 8-minute. You can take an 8-minute drive. Right? There's nothing wrong with it. And to me, what that means, and I always say this, as much as we talk about the front end working with the back end, the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator have to protect each other, particularly the offensive coordinator. Offensive coordinator says, hey, listen, y'all been on the field for a while. We're going to take the air out of the ball a little bit, give y'all some time on the sideline. Taking these constant shot plays that are stopping the clock, and you're not moving the ball consistently enough, that hurts your defense. So I think those are the two things they're going to have to figure out, how to get the offense and defense in better sync game in and game out for how they're going to manage those games in game minutes.
Yep. You hit it right on here with that, Sean. For me, I am concerned for the Eagles, but the Cowboys ain't the reason why. The way this team is currently playing on both sides of the ball, they're not going to beat the 49ers, Sean. They're not. I don't have that confidence where I can look at the Eagles. I think it's a two-team race in the NFC. I think it's the Eagles and the 49ers.
Right.
And a lot of people want to bring up like last year, like, yeah, I beat them last year, but you also going to bring up the fact that their quarterback did get hurt. They pretty much had no quarterback. I don't think you're going to get lucky like that again. And then also with the Eagles losing the way they lose, I believe the 49ers have number one seat now, right? I believe so. Technically at the moment right now. So it's not going to be in Philly. You're going to be in San Fran. And I think they're gonna play way better in San Fran. So I'm highly concerned about the Eagles because this team right now, where they playing, they will not beat the 49ers. And I think the 49ers will probably blow the doors off them if they play in the NFC Championship game.
Now, and I'll say two things too. So a lot of people were talking about the Niners and the Niners and Niners. And the Niners obviously have played well the last few weeks after their little stumble midway through the season. They got a very interesting schedule coming up as well. I know they got Arizona this week, this coming week with division game. But next week, they got Baltimore on Monday Night Football on Christmas night. So, I think it'll be very interesting to see what they do against that Baltimore team. Because, again, Baltimore is no slouch. Baltimore is the number one seed in the AFC. So, I think it's going to be a very interesting thing to see. But we'll see what happens.
Let us know what you guys feel about this too. Let us know how you feel about the Chiefs game. Comment down below, not in the live. Comment under the video. Did Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs do a good job or complain about the call? Was it a bad call? Did it ruin the game? Is it time to be concerned about the Lions? Cowboys and Eagles, are they real deal or fool's gold? But speaking of gold, Sean, or speaking of high value, because I had to, let me look up, let me pull this story up again. But Shohei Ohtani, right? Signs with the Dodgers. And Sean, I need to go back and find the clip of the show where we talking about this. And you brought this up. You was like, Ohtani going to the Dodgers. I'm like, why would he go to the Dodgers? He was like, he already in LA. He probably wants to stay in LA anyway, but he probably wants just to be on the Angels. But he goes, stayed to LA, went to the Dodgers, and also went and played a part in that because I guess he's tired of losing, and we're gonna get into that point too. But what was your initial reaction to the deal before we get into what other news happened when they came out with this deal?
So we were on a platform about a year or so ago, SB. I want to say it was True to King's live stream. We were on a baseball conversation, and I brought up, I said, I think Ohtani will sign for it'll be about a $600 million deal, like 10 years, $600 million.
Mm-hmm.
People thought it was crazy. And I said, it's because you're paying for two players in one.
Yeah.
You're not getting a pitcher, you're getting a hitter who can also play in the outfield. He can play first baseman. You know, he's a DH. He's, you know, he is the ultimate weapon, right?
Yeah.
I was just off by $100 million. But the fact is not surprising. I was not surprised he went to the Dodgers. The $700 million, not surprised by that. Again, given you got two guys in one.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were paying, you're basically paying for Justin Verlander and Aaron Judge in one person. All right, just to put context around it, right?
Yeah.
Not surprising at all. Huge deal for the Dodgers. Sucks for the East Coast because you still won't get to see a lot of Ohtani because, again, they play a lot of their games obviously late at night. And,
at night.
Yeah, when the East Coast is going to bed. But huge deal for the Dodgers. And the rich get richer.
Yep. My initial reaction to the deal was I said earlier in the show, if I ever have a son, you're playing baseball because baseball players, you go get that bag, and when you get to the bag, you will get it. And the rich get richer. Going to the Dodgers, a big move, big play by the Dodgers. What I said about Shohei Ohtani, I was like, man, maybe he don't want to win, man. He got to put on a pinstripe, man. I just thought he was going to come put the pinstripe on, him and Judge, and we're going to get this championship. But, you know, he wants to stay in L.A., so I ain't mad at it. And you're trying to win. The number, when I see the number, like you said, well-deserved because you're getting an all-around player. You're getting a creative player. You're getting a pitcher. You're getting a hitter, infield, outfield. I can home runs. I can strike. I can give you a no-hitter on a good night. I can dominate any side of the field. So, yeah. But, Sean, news broke right before the show because I thought we were just going to talk about the deal that Shohei Ohtani contract deferral dropped annually to $2 million a year on a massive $700 Dodger deal. So pretty much now, Sean, his contract is go from $700 to $680. It's a historic contract with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Will defer $68 million of his annual $70 million salary. Sources familiar with the deal said Monday significantly lower his new team payroll and potential tax burden. Ohtani agreed on a 10-year, $700 million contract with the Dodgers. Saturday, by far the richest in history of North American professional sports. A source then say that majority of his contract will be in deferred money under this structure. However, Ohtani is deferring more than 97% of his earnings. The deferred money total to $680 million will be paid to Ohtani between 2034 and 2043, sources said. This is big. Because, Sean, I remember I asked you the name of the player. What was the name of the player again who got paid? It was a holiday every day he got paid because he stretched his contract out?
Bobby Bonilla. But Bobby Bonilla was a different situation. So Bobby Bonilla.
It's different, but similar.
Yeah, similar. Yes, what happened, Bobby Bonilla was in the last year of his contract with the Mets. The Mets cut him, but they couldn't afford to pay him the $5 million they owed him, or I think it's $5.8 million if I remember correctly. So they agreed in lieu of not being able to pay him right then and there that he would receive a payment of like $1.2 million with interest over a certain period, over 25 years.
I don't know how you think that's $5 million to $25 million. It's crazy.
Hey, listen, when you owe, that interest is real, right? So I'm tell you the problem when people loan people money, they don't charge them interest.
Yeah.
People stop borrowing money if you charge them interest.
Yeah. Sean, you brought up a theory with this. I want you to bring that theory that you brought up early in the show. You don't believe that he will be actually paid in money, but he will be paid in another way that is just as valuable as the money that he owed. What is that?
So my belief is that he won't see all $700 million of that money, that he will see a huge chunk of it in an asset. And the asset will be that he will have a percentage of the team
That'd be crazy.
Post retirement.
That'd be crazy. That'd be big if he was able to get part ownership of the team, and it's the Dodgers at that. That is big.
Now, keep in mind, what's the evaluation of the Dodgers right now? The Dodgers, I don't know what they're worth, but I'm going to guess probably somewhere in the $4 to $5 billion range. More than likely. In 10, 15 years, imagine what they're going to be worth. So if he takes a portion or a chunk of that team, right? Say he gets 10%.
10%, that's a lot.
It's a lot, right? If the Dodgers are worth, $9 billion and he owns 10% of the team, that's $900 million. So that's what I mean about, I think he's not going to actually see the money. I think they're going to say, hey, we're going to give you part of this money in interest of the team. The asset is the value, not the money.
If that happened, that's gonna change the game. That might be bigger than the other guy who's getting paid every year. But for me, when I seen this, I thought of two things. You a smart man, because now you solidified your future when you long and done after the game. And then two, you're trying to win. You're trying to win. You literally deferred your money so that you can build something around you where you went through a situation with the Angels and Mike Trout. And also you're trying to help the team with money-wise so they can still do things. So you're not just here to get this big old paycheck and just sit here with nobody else on the team, just you, and then they use the same excuse again. So I think this is a smart move by Ohtani. And watch out for the Dodgers. They might be back, bro. But speaking of another guy, sticking to the diamond, Mike Trout trade demands by MLB fans after the Angels lose Shohei Ohtani to the Dodgers. So now the fans are running wild saying Mike Trout should ask for a trade. He should be out of here. This is a guy who has been praised as the best player in MLB. And Ohtani is the second best player in MLB. And Sean, you know me for a while. I have 100% disagree with that. This man has not seen a playoff appearance. Not even I wasn't gonna say win. He don't even have an appearance. You can't be the best in no sport and you can't impact winning. I'm sorry, I don't care who you are. I know baseball is a little different because everybody gets their turn in the dynamic, but I done seen teams where they was terrible, but they had that one or two guys on that roster and they still impacted in some type of way. So it's not moving me. But if Mike Trout, before we get to that point, I went off my rant for that. But if Mike Trout was to get traded, where would you like to see him traded to?
If Mike Trout were to get traded, where would I like to see him get traded? He's the East Coast guy.
Send him on, baby.
I'm gonna say
send him here.
The Mets.
Oh no, you motivate me with that one.
To the Mets. No, and I'll tell you why the Mets. I'd like to see him go to the Mets because that would ultimately more than likely take them out of the run to try to get Soto next offseason. So send him to the Mets.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, you game playing alone. You playing alone. I was just saying stack the Yankees. Go and send them to the Yankees. Look, man, we going to stack the deck, win the championship, and get up out of there. But it's crazy that the fans are demanding that. I'm surprised the fans ain't going crazy that they can't win. They can't win. That's what I'm worried about.
Now,
go ahead.
Now, there's something I want to ask you, SB, because you brought up something earlier about, can you be the best player in baseball on a terrible team, right? So let me ask you this question, right? If I told you there was a guy with over 500 home runs, 1,600 RBIs, 500 hits for his career, hit 274 for his career, was a 14-time All-Star, 2-time MVP, Gold Glove winner, home run leader, RBI leader, you would say that's the resume of a guy who's probably the best player in baseball in his career, right?
One of the best. Depends on now. It depends. He got accolades. What did he do? Did he win? Did he lose? That was literally gonna be my next question. Did he win? Did he lose? Like, it's different if he's like, yeah, he made the playoffs and he was losing. He was competitive. This Mike Trout has 0 playoff appearances. Bagel 0. Sean. He has not. After when the baseball season in? What time? What is it?
Late October, early November.
Late October. He'll be at home for Halloween and Thanksgiving every time. Thanksgiving, he's at home every time. He ain't missing nothing. He ain't missing a holiday. At the end of the day, you could be a Hall of Famer, but when you tell me you are the best, and when you have two guys on your team who are the 1 and 2 best guys on the team, and you can't even make the playoffs, I'm cool with saying you can't win the championship because things happen and everything dynamic, but Sean, what sport do you know where you can literally say my team has the first and second best player in the league? You can't even make the playoffs.
I mean, listen, it's a reality, right? It's baseball, right? You can be a great player and just be in a horrible situation, right? It happens.
But was it that horrible?
Yeah, it was that bad.
He should have left then. That's me. I'm sorry. I'm out. At the end of the day, I don't care what sport you are. Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani were the 2 best talents in the MLB. But when it comes to the 2 best players, no, I'm not giving them no pass. You can't make the playoffs. This is the 2 most talented players we ever seen in baseball. They have 0 playoff appearances, 0 playoff wins. I'm sorry. I'm taking Aaron Judge as the best player in baseball to this day. Until Ohtani make a playoffs, he ain't the best player. Most talented, he ain't the best player. Give all rise for the Judge. You can say I'm biased because I'm a Yankee guy, whatever y'all want to say, but the facts is the facts that you can't deny that. Can't deny that. On to the next one. We get to the picks of the week right here. LSU quarterback Jaden Daniels overcome being out of the playoff hunt, which is crazy. We just had a conversation about being out of the playoff hunt, but college football is different. That was a crazy part, right? That was crazy. Being out the playoff hunt to win the Heisman Trophy with a prolific season. Sean, was he your Heisman winner? Let me look up his stats too, just to run down them again too. But was he your Heisman winner, or did you have somebody else?
So I had Penix as the best player in the country, but I understand why Jaden Daniels won the Heisman. So it wasn't a blowout, right? It was close. It was a closer
race
than people thought. So yeah, but I had Penix as the Heisman winner. I just think Penix, again, we talked about winning. If 2 guys have an all-time season, then I tend to lean more towards the team that won more, and Washington won more in the better conference this year. So that's why I went with Penix. But Jaden Daniels had a great season this year. Again, I saw him opening that against my nose. He looked decent, but he's not like a Heisman winner. So shout out to him for having to find a way to have a really good season and bring home the Heisman.
All right. And we looking at the tails of the tape. Jaden Daniels had 3,800 412 yards, 440 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, a 95.7 QBR rating, and a 9-3 record with the LSU Tigers. Then we go to Michael Penix. He had 4,218 yards, 33 TDs, 9 interceptions, 83.4 QBR rating, and he led his team to a 13-0 record. For me, Tushawn Jake Daniels was phenomenal. We're not going to deny that. He was definitely phenomenal. But when you look at the tail of the tape, both side to side, their numbers are both pretty much phenomenal. Penix had more yards, but Daniels had more TDs, less interception, a better QBR rating. But you got to go with the guy who went 13-0. I'm sorry, the guy went 13-0. I think he should have got it just off the strength of that. Now, if LSU and both of them was in the college playoffs and their record was about the same, or LSU only had like one loss, then I would have definitely said give it to that guy. Because usually they like, if it was like Marvin Harrison and Marvin Harrison had the record and they gave it to him because his numbers is outstandable, I'm understanding because that's a wide receiver. But they usually count wins and losses with the quarterback when they try to judge them off wins on awards. So I think they should have just did the same thing. Let me check the comment section too before we get into the picks of the week. LSU defense was trash. No, it was. He said, I told Sean about Daniels. Sean, what did he tell you about?
He didn't tell me about Daniels. I've known Daniels since he was at Arizona State. Cut it out.
Yeah, he said LSU. That's all they bring it back home is that Action Jackson.
Yeah.
Better players, Mike. Back there, one of a better player, Mike Trout or Albert Pujols.
Pujols is in the conversation of one of the 2 or 3 best first basemen ever. So Pujols.
I'm going Pujols too. Sean, Florida State got robbed of not being in the playoffs, bro. Coming from a Florida Gator fan. Sean is a Florida State fan, so I don't know if we want to open that Pandora box of pain for Sean.
No, he's admitting Florida State got robbed, and Mac Duff is a Gators fan. You know, but Mac Duff is also the fabulous of sports teams. His full of a bunch of jerseys.
Full of jerseys.
Appreciate you, Mac Duff, of course.
Because around here, we don't get pissed about nothing but the Tide around here. For me, we're pissed about nothing but the Tide. He said, I asked a question above SB if you check it later. What was the question that you asked? Let me see before we get to the picks of the week. You should have wrote it again, go. Week 2 or 2. I don't know. Okay. I can't find it. Let's go. We get to these picks of the week. This is the week where I usually have a confidence, but as I'm looking at what's going on again, and I was paying attention to all these games. We got a couple games today, right? But I don't really know. I don't have confidence this week. Any other weeks I had a lot of confidence. This week ain't looking too good for you. Right.
So to run down the schedule, Carolina and New Orleans. We both picked New Orleans. New Orleans did win.
Was the win, okay.
Tampa Bay at Atlanta. You picked Tampa Bay. I had Atlanta. Tampa Bay pulled it out.
Big Baker. Let's go. I told you, believe in Big Baker, man.
Indianapolis, Cincinnati. Both of us picked the Colts. The Colts lost.
They sold us.
Jacksonville at Cleveland. Both of us took Cleveland. Cleveland did win. Shout out to Joe Flacco for coming off the couch and doing what a veteran quarterback does. Houston at the New York Jets. Both of us took Houston. The Jets crushed them. Hopefully CJ Stroud's okay after concussion.
Yeah. We know why he lost that one.
LA Rams at Baltimore. Might have been the best game of the day yesterday. Rams at Baltimore. Baltimore won on a walk-off punt. So both of us took Baltimore. At Chicago. Both of us took Detroit. Obviously, they lost to Chicago. Minnesota at Vegas. Probably the worst game of the day yesterday.
Yes. I picked Minnesota.
You took Minnesota. I took Vegas at home. Minnesota won a field goal.
SB up 2-0 right now. Let's go.
Yeah. Seattle and San Fran. You took San Fran. I took Seattle. San Fran did win.
3-0 SB.
Buffalo at Kansas City. Both of us took Kansas City. Kansas City lost. Denver at your Chargers. We both took the Chargers. I will never be taking the Chargers ever again.
I'm going to say that to you. I'm never picking the Chargers again, too.
I'm done with them. I'm done with that. Denver won. Philly or Dallas, we both took Philly. Dallas pulled it out.
Yep,
And
they sold us.
Yeah, so we both took Green Bay and we both took Miami. So SB wins this week.
We on a hot streak. We hot, baby. We hot, Sean. What's that, like 4 in a row? 4 in a row? 3, 4 in a row? We hot. The comeback is real. This gonna be a greatest comeback than Rocky Balboa. We hot, Sean. Adrian, we hot. That's big. It's gonna make a big comeback. We coming back, Sean. What's the record right now? What's the record? Because
you've won the last 3 weeks, so I believe it's like 4, 8 and 2.
4, 8 and 2.
So you can come back and make this thing.
We hot. Yeah. We hot right now, Sean.
We've been on the street, y'all. We've been on the street. That's all right. We 15.
Oh, we need a human torch, Sean. Fire. No, okay. But
good thing is the Chargers play on Thursday night, so neither of us have to pick the Chargers.
Oh, thank God. Yeah. I was going to who we play, the Raiders. Watch me lose this game. Watch me lose, Sean. I guarantee you watch me lose. Watch me lose. I wouldn't be surprised. But thank you guys for watching the show. Salute my brother Sean. Salute everybody in the chat. We had another great episode of Real Take So Fake the Base every Monday and Friday at 7 p.m. Central Time. Sean, any word for the people before we get on up out of here?
Y'all be easy, man. You know, the holidays can be a tough time for some folks, man. Just remember, do something good for somebody this season, man. Don't forget to do that.
Yes, sir. You have right. Hit that on the head, man. And see you guys on the next one. We are out of here.
Rucker Man.